Hey, it's Coach Binkowski with Island Elite Basketball. I'm here to give you 10 tips that'll make you a better dribbler. The first one is making sure that you're using the right ball. There are guidelines that have been issued by FIBA, USA Basketball, and the likes that dictate what size basketball certain age kids should use. So if you're under 12, you should not be using a men's basketball. That's just how it goes. Your hands are not big enough necessarily to control it, and it's going to feel like you're pushing around a giant, beach ball. So having the right size ball is the first thing you should know. The second thing is knowing what part of your hand to use when you dribble, and that'd be your fingertips. So you want to push the ball off your fingertips, not the palm. So the fingertips are what help you control the ball. There's obviously a bigger circumference with your fingertips than there are with just the palm in your hand. So make sure you're using your fingertips. The third is to make sure that you have a big hand. So spread those fingers out when you dribble. It's not much different than when you're shooting. It helps you control where the ball goes and the placement of the ball. The fourth one is to make sure you're dribbling hard. And what I mean by that is you want the ball in your hand as much as possible. So when you dribble soft, the ball is out of your hand for a longer period of time. So make sure you're really pushing the ball down hard and getting it back into your hand. That way you can change direction if you need to, make a pass, pull up and shoot, etc. The fifth thing you have to do, and great dribblers all do this, is keep their head up. So when you're practicing your dribbling, make sure that your chin is up and that you're seeing the floor. Sometimes it helps if you have a hoop that you can look at or something up in the air that's not downward. Otherwise, when you're looking down, it is, I hate to say cheating, but you're basically cheating yourself, because what you have to learn how to do is understand where the ball's going to go based on how you push it. If you have to look at it constantly, you can't see the defense. So making sure that you have a big hand will help with that. Number 6 is you need to stay low to the ground. That doesn't mean always that you're running, bent over, but the lower to the ground you are, the easier it is to control that ball. There's less distance it has to travel. It just makes it easier to make your moves. So staying straight up and down is going to make things difficult. Get low, bend at the waist, etc. The 7th thing is when you practice your dribbling is to use your imagination. Think about game-like scenarios that you may be in. And when I coach players, I always put them in situations that start off comfortable. And what I mean by that is they're position-specific drills. So if you play center, you're going to work on your moves from the high post on in, and then we'll get to the three-point line and start working from there. If you're a guard, we're going to start three-point line. But what you really want to make sure you're doing is, pushing yourself with your creativity, putting yourself in situations, maybe stuck on the baseline, maybe in the corner, maybe in a trap, and then figuring out how do you adjust from there and what are the things you can do from there. The 8th thing is that you need to understand basketball is really a game of length. And I don't mean tall, I mean using your wingspan and being wide. So, if you look at what beats a defense, it's actually your feet, but the dribble's what helps you get there too. So understanding that, you want to get wide when you dribble, that helps move the defense in a lot of instances, and it'll set you up for better opportunities for drives and for passes. The next thing is that basketball is a game of angles, and so understanding the court and understanding what angles you have to work with and what gives you the best angle to succeed is crucial. If you watch a lot of NBA basketball, there are some players that like to dribble a lot 20 seconds into the clock, and now they've got to come up with some creative play, or they dish it off to a teammate and make them do something. That's not really beneficial for anybody. So I always say if you're going to go east-west, you've got to start going north-south as well. And if you just play 1-on-5 basketball, if the other team's in a zone, let's say, or even if they're playing man, if you hold the ball and dribble it, all the defense is doing is resting and watching you dribble. So they haven't moved at all. So understand that when you play, you have to actually change how the defense plays, and just dribbling around doesn't do that. The 10th thing, and this is I'm about efficiency when I play and I coach. If there are things you can do in one dribble instead of two, practice that. Whether it means taking a longer stride or a longer dribble, practice that. You want to cover space. You don't want to tiptoe your way to the basket. You want to get there quickly. So if you can do it in one dribble, force yourself to try to do it in one dribble. And the bonus thing, and this is for everything you do, not just dribbling, you must do this at game speed. If you practice slow, you're going to play slow. So when you practice at game speed, it's going to feel out of control at first, and that's totally normal and fine. That will become your new norm. That's going to be just how you play because you'll become comfortable with it. And when you practice, it shouldn't feel comfortable. It should always feel like you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zones and pushing yourself to go faster and be better. Now, you may lose the ball. That happens. It's practice. That's the point of practice, is to push yourself at speeds you're not used to do things you've never done before. If you're doing things that are comfortable to you, you're really not giving yourself a workout. So make sure that when you do it, you're doing it as best and as fast as possible. Those are my tips. I hope you like the video. If you like what you see, please subscribe as well.